everyone. I know it's been a while. I'm sure a lot of you can understand, especially when you have kids. Summers get kind of crazy, and it's a little bit difficult to find time to vlog. But I have missed you guys so much, and I just wanted to update you a little bit about what's going on in my life. So for those of you that don't know, thank you for tuning in if this is your first video with me. My name is Kat. I am 40 years old. I had gastric bypass surgery in October of 2017. I am roughly 10 months out, something like that at this point. I started at 242 pounds and I am down to 139 pounds, so over 100 pounds lost. Now, my starting weight wasn't extreme, but the amount of weight that I've lost overall has been a huge life-changing event for me. So I'm really satisfied with where I am. If I stay at 139, which I've kind of plateaued, which I'm okay with. 139 is a comfortable weight for me. I feel good. My clothes fit nicely, which that's kind of cool. I have energy, and a lot of the issues that I had before I had the surgery were things like sleep apnea and high blood pressure. The sleep apnea is not an issue. The blood pressure, initially after my surgery, I was able to go off of my blood pressure medication, but I believe it was my 6-month post-op where my blood pressure was reading as high. So I'm back on a very low dose of the blood pressure medication, which that runs in my family, high blood pressure. So, you know, even the people in my family that have normal body weights have high blood pressure. So, you know, the genetic component might have more to do with that than my weight ever did. Not that it wasn't a contributing factor. I know that it was. Anyone that has weight issues knows that it's a huge contributing factor to so many things in your life, health-wise especially. Let's see, what else can I tell you about what's going on with me? I wanted to talk a little bit about eating post-op. So I've been pretty lucky post-op that I've only dumped twice. And if you don't know what dumping is, that's where I can really only speak for gastric bypass. I don't know for all surgeries how that works, but for gastric bypass, it's usually when you eat something that is too high in sugar or too high in carbs, or you just eat too much at once and it goes through your body too quickly. You end up, it could be a lot of different things. For me personally, it's extreme nausea and or vomiting, and feeling very flushed. My heart rate feels like it's goes way up. Just feeling very poorly, very, not like, oh, I ate too much and my stomach hurts. More like, I will never eat that food again. Somebody please put me out of my misery, that kind of bad. It's not fun. The first time I dumped was shortly after my surgery. I believe it was 2 months after. And this was after all the nausea had really cleared up, because I had a lot of issues with nausea post-op, which, you know, that just happens. So what I'm talking about is after that point. I dumped, I had stopped, and I got my daughter, I was taking her to school one day, and she wanted to stop at Taco Bell and get one of their breakfast burritos. So I ended up getting a breakfast bowl and just like eating the eggs and a little bit of the potatoes out of it. And I think the potatoes really set me off, because I had to pull over to the side of the road and be sick, which is not fun. But I survived. And I didn't eat any type of potatoes for a very long time after that. Trust me, when you dump on something, you are not going to want to look at, smell, or have that food again. So, the second time that I dumped was actually not that long ago. It was maybe 2 weeks ago. And I have to say, I haven't quite figured out what my stomach can and cannot tolerate at this point. Because certain things might make me feel overly full or just not good, but not to the extreme of dumping. So I'm still kind of wading the waters. Is that how that saying goes? I'm still figuring it out. So, what I did was I decided, I don't drink very often at all, like maybe 2 or 3 times a year. I mean, seriously, it's just not something that I do. But I decided, see, I found out that I had got a job that I had applied for. So I was like, I'm going to celebrate and I'm going to get me an adult beverage. So I went to the grocery store, picked up, it was, what was it, like a watermelon, I don't want to say the brand name, but it was one of those, canned adult beverages, and I thought, oh, this sounds really good. So I drank like half of it, and I was fine, and I was drinking it slowly, and, you know, this was over probably like a 4-hour period where I had maybe 16 ounces total. So then I had the second drink a couple hours later, and I was so sick. I had to lay down. I felt shaky. I think there was too much sugar in it. And I usually am very good about looking at labels, and I didn't even look at the label. I don't know what I was thinking. You know, I should have really thought about that. But I didn't. I don't know. I was just feeling kind of carefree that day, so yeah, I dumped, and I dumped bad. I mean, I was very, very sick. For that time, I went to the bathroom. I had, not to be nasty or anything, but very loose bowels, very urgently, and I felt nauseous to an extreme, and I felt very flushed, very hot, very shaky. So I won't be having anything like that again for a very long time. So there have been times where I haven't necessarily dumped, but I don't feel well after I eat. And I think that this is very, very common for people that have had weight loss surgery. And 99% of the time, it's because I've eaten something, too much of something, and I'm still trying to kind of figure that out, because sometimes I can eat more than other times, which of course, you know, before surgery it was the same, but now if I overeat, it feels like everything is kind of stuck in like my chest, like in this area, and I have to lay down to feel like I can digest it. Like even walking is kind of uncomfortable because I'll be like, oh, you know, it's not fun. Most of the time when I eat, I know how much I can eat at this point, and I know what I can eat at this point to feel okay. But like I said, I'm still kind of figuring out some things, like, what was it that I had? I can't remember what it was that I had recently, but it was something that I normally do well with, but I think I ate too much of it, and I didn't feel very well afterwards. So my whole point in talking about this is to let you know that there's a learning curve after your surgery, but you will learn. You will figure out what you can eat. You will figure out how much of what you can eat. I know a lot of people either weigh their food or use measuring cups. You're not, a lot of dietitians say not to eyeball it, to, you know, measure or weigh things. I'm probably a bad patient because I don't, and I haven't done either of those things. I eat until fullness, and I eat very, very slowly. So that really is how I've done things, and for the most part I've been successful with it. Not everyone is going to be, so do what works for you, but understand that it is a learning curve. You will learn, and your body will let you know what you can and can't do. So just be gentle with yourself, and definitely go by the recommended foods for where you're at in your journey, because if you eat things that your body is not ready for, you have a higher chance of having a not so great reaction to it, understandably. So that's really what I wanted to touch on today, was dumping after surgery and just not feeling well sometimes after eating, to let you know it's totally normal. It's okay, you'll figure it out. And I would like to hear from some people that have had the surgery. What foods are you finding that you don't tolerate well now post-surgery that you tolerated very well pre-surgery? And what foods do you tolerate very well now that you find that your body responds very well to? Like for me, one of my favorite things is meat and cheese roll-ups and eggs. Those are the two things that are almost a daily staple in my diet. Okay, well, I have to get ready to go into work. Boo. Actually, this is my first day at this new job, so I'm a little excited, a little bit nervous. I think I'll be alright, though. And that's all I have for you today. We'll have more videos coming shortly. Well, I don't want to promise anything. You guys know how life goes. But I will definitely be making more videos, and if there's any questions that you have, if you come to my videos and, you know, there's a topic that you would like to see me discuss, I'm not a professional medical person, but as someone that has gone through the surgery, I'm more than happy to share what I have gone through. Alright, everyone have a good day, good weekend, good week, whatever point that you're seeing this video, and I look forward to seeing you again soon. Bye.